Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having a great day in Jesus. The Experiencing God Bible. They came out with one of these probably 20 years ago, back in the 1990s when I used to work real heavily in the Christian bookstore industry. Experiencing God by Blackaby was huge. I think it was Henry Blackaby. But anyhow, Christian Standard Bible, I think that's the only translation currently, maybe some more coming. King James, it's always free copyright, so they can do it. They're doing hardback so good. This is going to come in a full complement of other things as well. But knowing and doing the will of God, it's going to have 2 ribbon markers, which is fantastic. We'll show you the spine. Appreciate Sister Waldron zooming in and out. We'll show you, obviously it's not going to have gilt edging. Almost no hardbacks do. We'll show you what it looks like without the slipcover on there. Some people take the slipcovers off, keep them in a safe place. Some people leave the slipcovers on. They end up getting beat up over the time. It is smooth. It's not corrugated like many, with a little design here. Looks like it's Smith sewn, depending on who's doing the talking. And we'll measure. When you open it up, it's just got orange kind of a theme. I was just reading something about orange. What was it? Just as far as orange and marketing, there may be some marketing aspect to this. So let's measure it. It looks like it is about 9 1/4 inches tall, which is about average for a study Bible. So this has book introductions, God focus themes, prepare to meet God. Looks like it's, let me do this up. Looks like it is, it's almost 7 inches wide, isn't it? Doesn't feel that wide. It's maybe 6.8 inches wide. Did you notice sections, design icons, brief articles, biographies, and now it is kind of thick. Yeah, but I guess that. It's somewhere right around 2 inches thick, maybe slightly more. So it's a good sized Bible. I always recommend hard copies. So many people are saying they're doing everything electronically now. I see so many inherent dangers of that from so many different angles that I won't go into. I've probably done a bunch of videos on those times past. It has a little presentation page, Experiencing God page, Experiencing God, table of contents. Oh yeah, it comes leather touch, leather, printed in China. Copyright 222. Here's table of contents. Pretty small print, table of contents. That is important to some of you. Some of you it's not. I've got a good friend of mine. He's like in his 70s or 80s, I think. And his whole thing is, how small can a Bible be? He doesn't wear glasses, and print size means absolutely nothing to him. And it's very difficult when that's the case. I've noticed throughout life, like if you're not sick, you have a difficult time relating to sick people. And if you don't have problems with your vision, you have a very difficult time relating to people that do. And I would say the majority of people in the United States of America do have issues with their vision. But this is really small, like 6 or 7 point. And it looks like the paper's kind of thin too. So let's see if there's any ghosting. No, not ghosting. And I'm going to say it's maybe 7 or 8 point. In this part, what is experiencing God? So you'll want to read all this to find out what's going on. Yeah, Henry Blackaby. And so just all kinds of stuff. I was just reading this. Christian CEOs of Fortune 500 companies asked Henry to disciple them. He was invited to speak in 115 countries, meeting with many national leaders. He invited to the White House on several occasions, spoke at the United Nations and the Pentagon. So, I mean, that's pretty neat. Here's the Experiencing God, kind of the DNA formula behind it. I know we sold boatloads of Experiencing God books. There's 200,000 books printed every year. 200,000. Now, I'm not talking about 200,000 copies of multiple books. I'm talking about 200,000 different titles of books every year. So, Experiencing God Bible, study helps, features, all that's really good to know, tutorials. Come to the Old Testament. Before we get into that, we're going to check out the ribbon markers. Always be very careful pulling the ribbon markers out, because I have personally ripped the pages before, and you don't want to do that. Because once it's ripped, unless you use some type of book binding tape, it's just easier to continue on that rip. So, and I do like the different colors, and they're thin. They're the thin ribbon markers. They are diagonal cut. The different colors really help you know, like if you're in the Old Testament, New Testament. And it looks like they're about the traditional 3¼ inch. That's not an official, as you saw, measurement, by the way. The God who creates, the setting of Genesis, encountering God in Genesis. Set up really good. So they came out with this Bible years ago, and I've got it. I need to maybe do a review on it and then do some type of comparison between this Bible and the other Bible. I may have went too fast for Sister Waldron there. But let's see what kind of print size it's got. Probably 9. Now, this doesn't look like it's their comfort print. It may be. Now, their notes, again, are probably 7. I've got the official, one of you good folks sent me the official print size thing. People ask me, they're like, where'd you get that? Oh, somebody sent it to me, so I don't know where they got it. Man, it looks like it may be smaller than 7 point, some of this. It has like headers. Let's measure how much room there is to write. That's important to many of you. See, there's only like 0.375 inches, but there's actually more because the way this is spaced out. That's on the outer edge, about 4.25 at the top, and about 3.75 gutter. You can tell it's Smith's sewn because it's laying flat, first parts of Genesis, and I'm seeing the sewing there. You don't really want to put stress point on that. About a 1/2 inch there. So it's got decent room. It's not wide margin, but decent room to write. Let's just show you a average page. You know, so the drawback of this is going to be the study helps have small print. That's just end of story. Now, how to ameliorate that? Well, there's various magnifying devices that you can get. You can get them with lights on them. Now, a lot of you, because you may be older, that you don't like the ones you have to hold because then your hand shakes, and we understand that. So they have magnifying pages, but they still have to be lifted up just a little bit. And then they have like the little ruler magnifier. This comes from the Oxford English Dictionary because it's so small, the 2-volume instead of the 10-volume edition. You can do that. My old pastor's dad, he had one eye, and he would read the Bible through about 6 times a year with a magnifying glass like that. No excuse for any of us. So we're going to look at the end of Deuteronomy, the beginning of Joshua. Then we're going to go to the middle of the Bible to see if there's anything in the middle of the Bible. I'm going to tell you this. The Holman, nation's oldest Bible publisher, 1748, not the world's, that's Cambridge, 1596, I think, that they've been making amazingly quality Bibles for about the past 12 years. Maybe give or take a little bit. Amazing quality Bibles. So let's go to the middle. Yeah, lots of room to write on a lot of these. Like in Ezekiel, and I've been noticing in some parts, like 1.5 inches to write on either side. So there's certain pages that it's a lot more room to write. And then some, like in some prophecies, they really do like a single column reference thing. And you're looking at over 3 inches to write here in Zephaniah, which I'm sure many of you will be doing incredible studies on Zephaniah. And it does not have anything in between, but you always want to check. It does have lined pages, like at the end of Malachi, a little bit about it. It's red letter, red letterson. I'm going to guess this is somewhere around 9.5-ish print, somewhere in that neighborhood. I may try to measure it. I'm sure it lists it somewhere, but I couldn't find. Yeah, 9.5. There it is. Durable, semi-sewn, lay flat binding. Yes, it is. So red letter. Let's see if it's red letter at the end of Revelation. A lot of people are always curious about that. Like Cambridge did it. Jesus' words while he's here on earth. Yes, Revelation 22. God focus, depart from God, death, God's standards, God's purpose. So you have a lot of stuff. This reminds me a little bit of the Disciples Study Bible. Those of you that remember the Disciple Study Bible, then they may have brought it out under another name, and I can't remember. Maybe the Quest Study Bible, or the, isn't there one called the Quixotic Study Bible, or something like that? Some Q word that's not readily, I don't think it's Quixotic. But that old Disciple Study Bible, a lot of people still like it. So then it's got the icon index, like love, relationship. So let's see if it has any maps, and let's see how many total pages it is. This is the Experiencing God Bible. If I'm not careful, I end up calling it the Exploring God Bible. Now there's a great one by Pentecostal Publishing House, the Exploring God's Word Bible. It does have a concordance, and it's rather decent. The concordance starts on page 1914 and goes to 1956, so 42-page concordance. And the maps are not your traditional glossy maps. So it's a little less than 2,000 pages. Paper looks high quality. It's not the Nelson Comfort print. Some of you don't like the Nelson Comfort print. Some of you think it's the greatest invention ever. I think a lot of us were just individual with our eyes. But not ghosting, really. Looks fairly greatly line matched. And doesn't look like a lot of maps. Here's Richard Blackaby, BA Honors, University of Saskatchewan, PhD, Southwestern Baptist, honorary doctorate from Dallas Baptist. So anyhow, so the Experiencing God Bible, many of you are going to like it. You may not like the CSB Study Bible. There's a big division on whether you do or not. It's kind of almost a Southern Baptist propriety translation in a sense. But if you like Experiencing God, you may want to get this and at least avail yourself of the things in there. Just know the study notes in here are small. And it's not a reference Bible per se either. Like, it doesn't have references. So God bless. Talk with you later. Thanks for being with us. Hit subscribe, bell notification, share with your friends, family. Join us daily, and do please check out our other videos. We've got a few thousand. And join us for our church services here too. Thanks. And if you want to give, please give. God bless you. Bye-bye.